Hey, what's up, peeps? Today we're talking about two soundtracks that dropped in 1993 that I can almost guarantee you've either never heard of or you've completely forgotten about. But they are two soundtracks that I go back to quite often. I love them, and it's because I love rock and I also love hip hop. Which albums are these? I'll tell you right now. Alrighty then. Now, both of these this evening are going to be shown to you on cassette tape, and I hope that is okay with you. So the first one, 1993. Remember, both of these albums came out in 1993. The first one is called Judgement Night. It was a cool movie, and it was, I think, an even better soundtrack. Judgement Night, ladies and gentlemen. And what is super interesting about Judgement Night is the fact that they mixed rock bands or alternative bands with hip hop artists. So here is what the inside of the tape looks like. And then there it describes like who got put together and who produced what. Because a lot of this album, because there's all these hip hop dudes, a lot of this album was actually, each song was produced by a different person type of a deal. So, interesting. But let me read to you some of these collaborations, because if you haven't heard them before, you might be like, you've got to be kidding me. Cypress Hill and Sonic Youth. Yeah, Cypress Hill, Insane in the Membrane, and Sonic Youth. They do a song together. Onyx, I'm not going to describe who Onyx were. They had one big hit. And Biohazard. So full-on gangster hip-hop and Biohazard. Let's see here. Ice-T. So Ice-T from CSI or whatever it is. And Slayer. Yeah. Let me tell you a couple of my favorites. Cypress Hill did another one with Pearl Jam. And believe it or not, that's actually really cool. So Cypress Hill and Pearl Jam. There's so many good ones on here. There was another one that I liked a lot, though. Oh, Faith No More and the Booyah Tribe. So literally, it's, this was 93. This was during the birth of, bands of like Rage Against the Machine. And soon we're going to have, this is when Korn was around. And Deftones were starting to perform. And, so we're starting to get POD and all these bands that mixed rock and metal with the hip hop. But this was really cool because it actually took two bands and just said, listen, you're both really good. Let's do a song together. So check out the soundtrack for Judgement Night. Next. Okay, so the second soundtrack from 1993 holds a special place in my heart because I just have always loved it, like since day one when it came out. And it has all these bands that I love doing songs that weren't on the main albums that I could purchase on CD or cassette or maybe vinyl at that time, but not much. And this album, though, just kicked butt from beginning to end. The movie was great. The movie, here's a little side note, the movie actually had the last ever appearance by Art Carney from The Honeymooners, for you really young people. But the movie is The Last Action Hero. Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is actually a really good movie. I have always enjoyed this movie. But part of what makes this movie great, grand, fantastic is the soundtrack. So, listen to this. Isn't that great? So here's the inner sleeve here for it. Okay, I want you to see, as I pass this by you, some of the iconic bands that are on this. Recognize any of them? I think you might. I think you might. Here's this side. It's got some... It's a very much a 90s action movie. And again, I love it. I think it is great. And here's the cassette itself. Here's side 2. Okay. So, let me tell you about some of the music that's on this album. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're going to be you're welcome. Okay. We have, it opens with AC/DC doing Big Gun, #1, Big Gun. Awesome song. Then we have Alice in Chains with What the Hell Have I? I think one of their scariest songs. Alice in Chains sometimes can get a little spooky. This song, spooky. Megadeth, Angry Again. Oh my gosh. Such a rad song. Queensryche, Real World. I love that song. Def Leppard, 2 steps behind. If you like harmonic Def Leppard, check this out. Cypress Hill with Cock the Hammer. Cock the hammer, it's time for action. One of my favorite Cypress Hill songs, actually, and it's on this album. Fishbone singing Swim and Tesla with Last Action Hero. Now, the score of this movie was actually written by Michael Kamen. So, if you love Michael Kamen and all the amazing things like Die Hard and Lethal Weapon and so much that he's done, mixed with what I just told you was on this, then I'm thinking you need to check it out. You can thank me later in any way that you want to that doesn't hurt. So anyway, please check out, okay, Judgment Night and Last Action Hero. They are both honestly worth watching the movies for sure. And the soundtracks are more than worth picking up in any way possible. Be blessed.